I had Instagram for a long time. I never pursued a big following on it, but over the years I accumulated nearly 1,000 followers, and I follow twice as many accounts. The feature where the app suggests people to follow is to blame for that, as I tend to click follow on people I think are interesting or attractive, but they don't often return the favor. One day, though, somebody did. They popped up and the profile picture was of a fairly cute girl, so I went through her profile. The post went back pretty far. She had the same number of followers as me and was very pretty, but was also quite modest about it. The kind of balance that screams girlfriend material to me. So of course I followed her. The only odd thing on her profile that suggested anything was amiss was that there was an unusually large gap between her last few posts, and the last post was a little different than the rest. She always showed her face, but the last post was from a week earlier, and it was just a picture of the front of a coffee shop with the caption, "Back from the breakup. I guess I'll be spending all my time here again." However, I instantly recognized the coffee shop because it was in my city just 3 miles from my house. It was a cool hangout spot I'd been to a few times, but I never really fit in with the crowd. Of course, if this girl was posted up there, I was totally cool with trying my luck again. Just as I started fantasizing like a hopeless romantic, thinking about going to hang out there over and over to eventually run into her, she followed me back. Then I got a message from her. My heart burned with excitement as I read it and replied. Things were normal for a while as we texted back and forth, just getting to know general things about each other. Then she dropped a bombshell on me. She confessed that after her breakup with her last boyfriend, she got screwed over in pretty much every way. Losing all her friends, her apartment, and having to live in her car. She had tried to make friends with the new crowd of people that had grown into her old hangout spot in the years of her absence. But she couldn't fit in either. Her social confidence had been shot. Apparently she found it easier to make friends online, and that's where I came in. She said I looked like a cute and baseline trustworthy guy, and she wanted to meet me. Not for a one-night stand, rebound, or anything, but just to have company and maybe cuddle and potentially crash at my place. I have to admit, I was blindsided. I accepted immediately, thinking I could turn this girl into my girlfriend in a couple weeks, or several months at the latest if she was that hung up on her ex. By this point, we had been texting for several hours, from 8 p.m. to midnight, so she asked to come over right away because her car was parked in a sketchy area. I told her to come right over and gave her my address. She said it would take her 20 minutes, so I quickly tidied things up for her arrival and made some tea. About half an hour after her last text, I was starting to get worried I had been catfished. But then, there was finally a knock on my door. I walked up and looked through the peephole, and lo and behold, there she was, the perfect, cute girl of my dreams. She was much more rough-looking in real life due to the stress of the last few weeks, but that didn't matter to me. If anything, it showed me the way she might look right after getting out of bed in the morning, and I still liked what I saw. I opened the door and let her in. She was very shy and kept apologizing for no reason, thinking she was being a burden. I knew her ex must have done a number on her. I told her to make herself at home and have a seat on the couch. The tea had gotten cold, so I asked her if she still wanted some. But she was very hesitant to accept it, even though it clearly looked like she wanted it. As if popping the cup in the microwave for a minute was a huge bothersome task. Finally, after I insisted, she accepted it with a warm smile. When I came back from the kitchen, she had taken off her shoes and had pulled a blanket over her whole body except her head, cuddling one of the throw pillows underneath. I gave her the tea, then I sat down in the chair across from her and tried not to stare. But it was a wonderful sight to see her enjoying a simple, wholesome treat after going through it for so long. We talked as she sipped it down, and by the time she was finished, she was slurring her words and falling into the embrace of the couch. Before she knew it, she was in the deepest sleep of her life. She woke up in my basement cellar, her hands and feet tied together and chained to the wall. It wasn't until 8 in the morning that I finally heard her faint screaming for help. But no help will ever come for her. She was the perfect captive, physically attractive but also weak, emotionally vulnerable, naive, and suggestible. Nobody cares about her, so I don't think she's even been reported missing yet. I do what I please with her, putting her through degrading conditions for days at a time, then giving her small but meaningful moments of reprieve. She gets little treats to keep her spirits right at the level I want them to be. For the moment, she's complacent, but if that were to ever change, I could break her easily. I know it's the stupidest thing I could do right now, but I have this insatiable urge to brag about my achievement. I found the deepest corner of the internet and covered my tracks getting there, and I've posted this knowing by the time it seeps out onto the surface web, nobody will be able to trace it back to me.